Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and to another Fortnite tips and tricks video. And this one's all going to be about the new Fortnite Reload Desert Drop Solos mode. So without further ado, we're just going to start out, and I'm just going to get right into the video and tell you my thoughts on this and what I think you should be doing when playing this mode and how you should play it. So during Fortnite Chapter 2 Remix, the normal mode does not have any gold bars, but you still do have gold bars in Reload. So you should be learning where all the different vending machine spawns are in this mode, as you can use them to help you buy healing items in order to keep your health up, or just to have extra big pots to keep your shield up. And I do believe I've seen some which even had weapons which you could purchase. So that is the very first tip here that I'm going to give you. Now, on the very next part here, the difference between playing Reload as a solo or playing it as a duo or squad is the fact that you have a set number of reboots. Now, in normal Reload as duos or squads in team mode, as long as one teammate is alive, you can still be rebooted and brought back into the game if someone is alive before that timer runs out for you to be rebooted. But now in this new mode, you only have 2 reboots, so 3 lives total. And just like in regular Reload, once it gets to a certain point in the game, you're going to get a notification and a timer saying that all reboots will be disabled after this timer hits 0. So basically, if you don't use your 2 free reboots before that happens, you will lose them. And this is the same for every other player on map. So then how should you be playing in this new mode? Well, first off, I'm going to tell you that you shouldn't just be camping and try to make it to the end of the match, as you do have at least 2 reboots which can be used to bring you back to life so that you can then still try again. So if it's early on in the game, and there's a fight where you think you can win it, and you don't have very good loot, it's actually highly advisable that you probably should take that fight. Because not only is it going to get you better at the game and better at fighting, but any player that you manage to take out, they're going to have less reboots to come back, and any player that gets taken out 3 times is out of the game completely. So the name of this game is literally to try to put as much damage on players as possible and eliminate as many players as you can, as many times as you can, before the timer goes off to when reboots will be disabled. Because you definitely want way less players alive at that point in the game, as the storm circle and the zone that you can actually fight in is going to be way smaller. So any fight that you get into, you're just really opening yourself up to be third-partied at that point. And the more players that are left, because they weren't taken out, because they didn't lose their 3 lives before this happened, is just going to make it harder for you to actually win the game. And I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about here, because if you play this mode, even before you get to that point, you will find that a lot of times when you start fighting with anybody, there's always somebody else just showing up in the middle of it or at the end of the fight trying to pick a fight with you. Because people are way more likely and willing to try to fight you when they know that they have 2 reboots and they can come back alive up to 3 times. So it's unlike a regular game of Fortnite Battle Royale where in solos, if you die once, that's it. It's game over. So now, what weapons do I actually recommend that you use in this mode? Well, I'm going to say, naturally, the suppressed sniper rifle is king, because it is less likely to give away your position when you shoot, as it is suppressed with a silencer, and you can use this rifle in order to third-party fights. Any headshot is likely going to be a one-shot kill anyways, because like I said, you want to try to eliminate as many players as you can before the timer comes up where they disable reboots. And now, even if you cannot actually eliminate a player, it's so easy to third-party fights at long distance with any type of sniper rifle. Not just the suppressed one, but with the suppressed one, you're less likely to be getting looked at by more players because they're less likely to get the audio and visual audio effects of it going off. And now if your third party fights from a distance as well, it's easier for you to relocate after taking a shot and then take a shot at somebody else. Generally speaking, even if you only hit a body shot with a sniper rifle, it's still going to do over 100 damage. So if your third party fights with two people fighting, you've likely just ruined somebody's chance of winning that fight if you hit them with a body shot, and that's going to take away one of their reboots that they have and help make sure that you have less people in the game when it comes to endgame. Next, the best items that you should carry whenever possible, if you can, would most definitely be a grappler that has 10 uses and its mobility. It's going to help you move around the map more quickly. It's going to help you get to different spots and locations up high on height so you can get better angles and better view and better shots that you can take on your enemies. After that, it would be shockwave, obviously, as it can also be used the same way and can also be used just in an emergency moment if you get beamed to just get away from somewhere and just break line of sight so you can then reset that fight, have time to heal, and continue on with your game instead of losing one of your reboots or getting sent back to the lobby. Afterwards, you're definitely going to be carrying some type of healing item. And now, the best healing item to carry, if you can find enough of them, is definitely going to be the Chug Splash, as it's fast to use and can heal either shields or health, depending on what you need. After that, it is going to then be big pots. And then after that, I would say it would actually be medkits. Now, what item you don't really want to be carrying, unless you just have nothing else to carry, is going to definitely be bandages, as they can only get you up to 75, or mini shield pots, because you can only get up to 50 shield with those, and regardless if an enemy is carrying mini shields or not, whenever you see any enemy, they're going to drop mini shields, as you just see them right here. So you'll always be able to just pick up mini shields off anyone you defeat and get your shield up anyways, so there's no point in actually carrying these items unless it's extreme endgame and you just have nothing else to carry. Now, you may have noticed that I am carrying actually 3 medkits this game. And now, this is getting into how you can win every single game of Reload. As I said, you're constantly going to be getting third parties in this mode, and players are more likely to be trying to push you in this mode as they have more than just one life. In solos, which is completely different from your regular BR. So the way I've been playing this match, if you haven't noticed already, is I have literally been having Storm at my back and rotating late the entire game. That is why I'm choosing to carry medkits instead of shields, as I am likely going to maybe have to take storm damage at some point and lose health. And like I said earlier, every player is going to drop mini shields anyways. Since I am not always inside the zone the whole game and I'm kind of just hugging the storm circle and it's always at my back, I'm very unlikely to bump into other players doing the same things. Because for one, you need to make sure that you have the healing items in order to do this, and because of this, I am actually less likely to get third-partied, as when most players see the stormers coming, if they don't have any heals or they've taken any damage or what have we, especially since every player are always going to drop minis and not green health when you kill them, a lot of players, especially if they've already been eliminated once or twice, are not going to want to take storm damage if they don't have the heals to do it. This lowers the chance of you getting third-partied tremendously and makes sure that you are the person who is going to be third-partying and griefing everybody else's game, giving you a higher chance to win the game without just trying to camp the whole game and being afraid to fight and everything else, just so worried that you're going to get third-partied because you are storm running this entire game because you have a long-range weapon which you're just using to grief your opponents every single step of the way. So, when you land, if you quickly find a sniper rifle off the rip at the beginning of your game, definitely try to just find green heals and start trying to play the game just like this. Try to be hugging zone the whole time, following the storm circle, staying on the edge of it where you're less likely to see players, and just try to third party everybody else until endgame. Now, if you don't find really good long range weapons, just sniper rifles early on, or you don't find something like a gold pump or a gold AR, and you just get regular common gray weapons or uncommon green weapons, then I would be a little more ballsy, especially earlier on in the game when everybody still has plenty of lives, and try to take fights if you think you have a decent chance of winning them. Because as I said earlier, you get taken out 2 times, and then you'll have your third final life anyways. Because the loot you have is essentially not game-winning loot and is garbage. So why not try to take out other players to hopefully get better loot, so that then you have game-winning loot on you instead of garbage loot. So you do actually have to be flexible on how you're going to play this mode based off the loot that you find. Like if you get a gold pump off the rip, and that's a really good shotgun and a purple AR, you're probably better playing a little more passive and making sure that you're only taking fights that you're sure you're going to win, or you're very confident that you're going to win, so that you can keep that really good loadout for endgame, where having good loot really matters. If you camp the entire game, are unwilling to use or risk using any of your actual reboots, and then just end up having a really crappy loot and not enough heals when it comes to endgame, chances are you're going to be rocked by the players who have better loot, better weapons, and more health than you. So this mode is truly actually about just making the proper and better decisions based off what loot you actually find. So if you have bad loot, feel free to fight more. If you get really good loot early on, play way more passively than you normally would to make sure you keep that good loadout. If you get taken out a couple times, or even just one time and you have less reboots left, make sure that you play a little bit more passively to make sure that you keep your lives. That should be an obvious. If you don't have any reboots left, you definitely want to start trying to play your life and maybe camp. As you explore the map, try to keep an open eye out for places that have a lot more chests than other places, because more chests to open, more chests to loot, means higher chance of finding the better loot that you're going to need to win the game. But anyways, that will be it for this video. I am Big Papa Smurf 187, and thank you so much for tuning in. If this video helped you out at all, let me know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, if you enjoy this kind of content, and I will be consistently posting more of it, and I will hopefully catch y'all on the next one. And last but not least, don't forget to have fun gaming. Bye for now.